Hey everybody, it's Kendra. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. My little kitty is over here peeking out, and we are going to do a garden tour video for you today. I'm on my balcony because I'm going to show you what I've got growing on my balcony besides a little kitty. And I'm also going to take you over to my parents' house to their apple orchard where I have an actual vegetable garden growing this summer. So we are in northern Wisconsin. I think we are in zone 4A. It's either 4A or 4B. It probably is 4A. So the growing season is definitely shorter, but so far this summer has been really good. We've had a good amount of rain, but it's also been very hot, very sunny. So it's been a pretty good growing season thus far. So anywho, yeah, let me show you around. Alrighty, so here is an overview of our balcony. We get nice morning sun here, and we get a lot of sun.
Well, hello there. Are you just lounging? What a good kitty. Aren't you so silly?
Alrighty, so most of what I have growing on the balcony are herbs, but I did just get 2 fig trees from Costco. They had a promo. So these are Chicago hardy figs. I will have to keep them in pots because it's way too cold for them to go in the ground here. But I just noticed this. I have 2 baby figs growing. So I think I'm gonna have figs on here before the end of the season. And I did put them in these ceramic pots from IKEA, but they do not have drainage holes, so I think I need to transplant them into something else. I was really desperate to get them out of their shipping pots, so I just put them in this. But yeah, I'm gonna buy something that has drainage. Do you guys think I could drill holes in this? I asked my dad and he thought it would crack them. All right, then we just have a lot of pots of herbs. So this one, we've got peppermint, that's lemon balm, and then a type of basil. This little guy is a basil. I think it's like spicy globe. I could be totally making that up. This is catnip, which my kitties love, and you can see it's kind of messed up because they love to rub on it and chew on it. Then here I have one little pot of flowers. So the main one is called Mexican Heather, which I just thought was beautiful. Then there is some verbena in there. Not sure what the little white one is called. All right, then we got a big pot of basil. And then this one, it's got some thyme, more of that basil, and then a marjoram back there. All right, and then over here, I've got a pot of rosemary and a lavender. That poor lavender has not grown at all. I'd really like it to get some lavender flowers. All right, and then this big pot, I've got some parsley, 2 flat leaf Italian parsleys, and then a cilantro, but this one just bolted like right away because it was so hot right away. I've been trying to cut off the flowers and turn it back into cilantro, but I think it's too far gone. All right, and then we got another pot of basil. I wonder what's getting into this. I just noticed this. It's got all these little holes in it. There's got to be some bug up here. All right, and then here, let's see, more basil. You can tell we go through a lot of basil. Actually, we don't go through a lot of it. I just clearly planted too much of it. And then we got a bunch of oregano and more thyme here. Then I've got my little aloe plant. This guy's doing pretty well. I might actually need to put him in a bigger pot because this has definitely grown since I bought it. And then finally over here, I've got another pot with lemon balm, sage, and oregano. Gosh, this is all growing so well. That sage is massive. And then finally, a kitty. Aren't you cute? So yeah, one last overview of the balcony, mostly herbs, and it has been so nice to have all of these fresh herbs in cooking this summer. We have been eating so many Greek salads, tomato mozzarella basil. I've been making lemon balm tea. I've been using rosemary in cooking. So good. And also I just have to point out my little bistro table and bistro chairs, mainly the cushions, because the cushions were made by moi. These chairs are so cute, but they are ridiculously uncomfortable without cushions. So I went to Joann, bought some 2-inch foam, some outdoor fabric, and just kind of figured something out. They do have zippers on them. My zipper sewing is not something to brag about, but at least you can take off the covers and wash them if need be. So yeah, that is the balcony. All right, so before we get into the tour, I have to tell you, I now have a composter. Look at that beauty. Don't really know the brand, it just says home composter on it. I actually took a class about composting and this was included with it. So I just added a whole bunch of brown material to it, so you can't really see much. But this thing holds a ton. We've had it for like 3 months, and my mom and I always talk about how we can never get it more than like halfway full because it just compacts so much. But I think the stuff in the bottom has definitely been turning to compost. So anyway, I feel like my life is now complete because I have a proper composter. So exciting. And because I was so excited about this, we actually did go back and buy a second one. So once I get this baby full, then I can start the second one. Although I kind of don't think I'm gonna need to this summer. All right, so I did plant these little boxes with just some seeds for greens. I think that was like arugula. They're not doing very well. This is mosh, which I try to grow every year, and it just hates me. It just doesn't want to grow. I mean, this was actually probably the best I've ever gotten mosh to grow. That's some type of lettuce. And we had some spinach in these boxes over here. But none of the greens did super well. It got super hot right after I planted them. All right, then I just have to show you these cool hanging baskets we got. They're like little cherry tomato hanging baskets. They're doing super well. Got this one here too. How gorgeous is that? These things have really produced a lot of tomatoes. So nice. All right, so that's a flower garden, but we're not going to explore that today. So if we wander over here, tucked under some trees, this is the garden. So in this whole corner here, I'd say about a third of it is tomatoes. I think we have like 15 tomatoes here. We bought these all as plants. I did not start any tomato seeds this year just because of our move and everything being so crazy. But they look really good. Some of these were in like little 4-packs and they looked terrible when we bought them, but they've really shot up. We don't really have many tomatoes, but it's still early. And we're in northern Wisconsin, so I can't be too pushy. All right, then over here, we have 2 rows of beans and then 3 little zucchini plants. The zucchinis are definitely taking their time. I think once we get some nice hot weather, they'll really start going. And I've got my beans here, and we've really staked up the beans. We should definitely have some beans very soon. All right, and then over here, this was rhubarb. I just made some strawberry rhubarb jam. So I took most of my mom's rhubarb, thank you. And then all along here, all along the border, I planted tons of flower seeds. So I think these guys back here are calendulas. And then here I've got tons of zinnias. So they're finally starting to get a little bigger. But I guess it'll probably be at least 2 or 3 more weeks before they start doing much. Oh, we got some nice tomatoes there. 2 nice big ones. All right, and then over here, I have my gorgeous pink flamingo. I've had him since high school. This was a birthday present when I was a teenager. I think it's missing a foot. I've spray painted the legs silver. Had to re-spray paint the flamingo. He could do with another painting this summer. Okay, then here I've got 2 rows. So this one right here, these are cabbages. So I think it's kind of like a wrinkly looking cabbage. I can't remember exactly what I planted. And then this row here is kohlrabi. So I think I might need to thin out the kohlrabi. I'm not super sure. I've never grown kohlrabi before, and these were actually free seeds. So I really am not super sure. But I did thin out the cabbages, so I think I might be okay on spacing for cabbages. All right, and then if you remember my trellises from my previous gardens, so I used one of the trellises for peas. So, and I finally have peas. I was just out here yesterday and their peas are just everywhere. So you can eat the pods on these. I'm gonna have to do some pea harvesting here pretty soon. All right, and then underneath the peas, I've got 3 rows of onions. gosh, they look terrible right now. We just got a lot of rain, so everything's kind of smushed. So there's a row of white, a row of yellow, and a row of red onions. Holy smokes, I was just about to step over there. There's this giant spider web right in front of me. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera. And look at this. This is a lupin plant. Look at all those seed pods. How neat. And then actually, I will just point out behind the garden, we've got all these grapevines. So in the fall, I'm gonna cut a whole bunch of them, and then I'm gonna let them dry out, and then probably in November, I'm gonna make a whole bunch of grapevine wreaths. I tried this project last year and it worked, and they looked so cool, and it was actually really quite simple to make grapevine wreaths. So yeah, that is the garden here. Pretty small, pretty simple, but I've got a lot of stuff packed in there, and I'm really satisfied. Everything is growing really, really well this year. We've had a good amount of rain. It was warm really early. We've had a lot of sun. So even though we are pretty far north, I think we're actually zone 4A. It's been going really, really well. All right, and now I'm taking you guys to the other side of the apple orchard. And this is not gonna look very exciting or anything. What is on there? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've had some critters digging. So you see that stuff? Hi, there I am. So this actually is a morel mushroom habitat. And one of the things you have to do, like you till up the soil and then you put in some morel mushroom spores, but you need to feed the habitat. So I've just been, taking some of my produce scraps and just burying them in here. But I can see a couple holes here where stuff has been dug up. So I think some critter has gotten in here and has been causing some shenanigans. There is an electric fence around this orchard, so it couldn't be a giant critter, but maybe like a squirrel. Ooh, my dad is not gonna be happy about that. So anyway, I'm just gonna have to bury that stuff again. Interesting, the little critters know where my mushroom habitat is. So anyway, this is my little gardening oasis. So anyway, if you guys have gardens going this summer, I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear what you guys have growing, how your growing season is going. So thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.